So welcome everybody for this afternoon's annual talk sessions. My name is Anke. I'm one of the organizers of the Netherlands Pavilion here today and twice a day. And this will actually be our last afternoon where we do the annual talks. So we're quite excited about that. And we do this to kind of put all our exhibitors in the spotlight. And today we're going to talk about edge cases don't scale until now. How AI outperforms your own support team, together with Karsten Nilsen from CleverMobi, who is a partner. And we're going to talk about an AI agent for mobile operators that outperforms support staff on the hardest cases, because it has access to every piece of data behind them. Karsten, I'm really curious, this is your first time you're coming out also with this new product, I believe. Can you tell a little bit about what it is and what CleverMobi does?
Yes, Anke, thank you for having me. Yes, this is indeed the first time we are introducing ourselves at the MWC. We started 6 years ago, and actually because 50 Plus Mobile, our launching customer, came to us actually looking for a billing solution, and they knew me as a technical partner already and said, can you look in the whole ecosystem? What is a good billing solution for our product? We want to really disturb the market and launch pricing almost every day, have for different channels, different solutions, and different pricing and different campaigns. And we took this requirement and talked to all kind of vendors. We went to this MWC, but then as just a visitor, and just go to all billing solutions and said, okay, these are the requirements. How do we do this? And almost always the response was, yeah, come on guys, this is telco. In telco, if you want to do new pricing, that's a project, and you have to do, and it will take some weeks. And that's what you always also see in the field. If you could look at, for example, Dutch mobile operators, if they do Black Friday, they prepare 3 weeks at advance, at least, some even more, what they want to do, because they have to program in all those changes so that next then they have a Black Friday deal that it actually works before that time. And if last day they want something different, that's just too late. And it was not there, so that's why we thought, okay, but if it's not there, it's actually a really logical demand actually nowadays in the internet time when, for example, if you buy shoes, you will see that pricing is like changing almost every minute, and if the competitor goes lower, everyone goes lower. So that's why we made CleverMobi, and the fun part is that we started a few years back as an MVP, and it really worked out from day one. And now 50 Plus Mobile, which was done really unknown, is in the Netherlands, really well-known brand now, and it's really running circles around the competitors. And for example, when Black Friday happens, what they do is they don't even think about pricing. They're just waiting out what's everyone doing, and then when everyone has released their pricing, they say, okay, where's the sweet spot? Oh, this is what we're gonna do. And now they are the fastest growing mobile operator of the Netherlands, so it's really cool.
So tell me a little bit more about this bidding system, because I'm not familiar how this works actually. So if I understand correctly, operators work with a bidding system then to kind of, how does it work? Well, what is a bidding system in that sense?
Good question. Good question. Yeah, in the telco industry, everyone uses acronyms and abbreviations. Is crazy. This is what they call an OSS BSS, but what it basically does is it's a software between the customer and the mobile operator. So it doesn't handle the actual calls or the SMS or the internet, but it's the My app where you see your invoices, but also you get the emails about, hey, there's a new invoice, or hey, you can renew your subscription, but also the web page where you do the ordering. So you want to become a customer. And you indeed also where you get your phone bill with a detailed explanation of your bundle, of your discount, of your overusage. That's actually the core focus of the system.
Okay, so basically you're creating kind of the back end for the end user, so that's combines everything from this invoicing to I think everybody here has a mobile phone. I know it as well. You log into, I don't know, whatever provider you have. You can see indeed your invoices. You can see the details of did you made any foreign calls or any other things you pay extra for. So that's kind of what you're building as a one-stop shop solution. Do I
Yes,
understand
indeed.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the most common customer interaction is just see how much MB do I have left. That's data come from our system then. And now
and what makes your because there are systems out there, there are already backends out there. I can imagine you start building this when you worked with 50 plus mobile, like you mentioned before. So what makes your solution now special? You know, why should operators that already have such a backends for their customers, why should they swap to you or to your solution?
Yeah. Now first, because if you want to run circles around your competition, then you should do it. And the other one is because we could start with a clean slate, and we see when we were talking to our competitors back then, before we started, that a lot of those systems were built at the same time that I got my first phone, Nokia 3310, and I was the first in my class, and a few months later everyone had it, and my family had it. So, and those systems became so quickly so big, and those systems are still in place, but now they are expanded and they are duct taped, and those systems bring a lot of legacy. And so you have all kinds of different systems. One's doing the discounting, one's doing bring a friend system, and we have everything in one place. That makes it really easy, and we were able to automate a lot of processes because of this. And what you now see is the customer service of 50 Plus is, for example, really small because all manual labor is almost reduced to what's really necessary. The only thing you have left over are the edge cases. Okay. And that's interesting because we now also solve that one.
Okay, so there's a lot of legacy, if I hear this correctly. So a lot of outdated backends of customers. So do you feel like you've been now for the first time at Mobile World introducing that? Do you feel that that is something that companies are actively looking for? Is it becoming a real issue for the ones that started?
People that started, but also people that are already long in the industry. One of the things yesterday or day before, I don't know, one day saw a company from South Africa, mobile operator, came and say, okay, we had already used 3 billing systems that were in the market from different players, and it was always like a mess. So then they said, okay, let's build something our own, and that's also now completely stuck. And they said, okay, I hope really you guys have something that finally solves this, because this is we already now have tried 4 systems and we're still not there.
And I can imagine that some of these operators have a huge client base, so changing or make a change in that situation and that backend basically for your customers is a huge operation. How long does it normally take to onboard a new client?
That of course depends, but we in this summer did a migration of 300,000 customers. So we are really good in doing those kind of really complex migrations. Yeah. So I think depending on the volume, you've spent a few months in fine-tuning this billing system to exactly match the requirements, and then you decide probably a weekend that you're gonna do the switch, and then suddenly everyone is using the new system.
Okay, interesting. And like, how is your roadmap looking like? Because you've spent a lot of time researching your competitors, finding your niche. I can imagine there will be new developments on your roadmap. What will be the next coming years look like for you? What will be your focus areas?
Yeah, that's a really good question. We are really into agentic AI now. You see that everyone is of course using AI. So, but what you see is that if I use, a good question for you maybe. You have probably used a chat on a website.
I hate those chats.
How many times did you get the real answer you are looking for?
Almost never. No, I think there's a huge opportunity for agentic AI, especially indeed for like anything like banks, operators, etc., where you can use or make use of the database of previous questions and so on. And especially when you are making this backend on such a large scale, you have not only from one client base questions, but from all client bases. So can imagine that's a huge bonus to create that agentic AI then in relation to that. And yeah, that can solve a lot of issues. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we saw the same. Like every time I ask a question to the chat of, it's always just actually reading from the manual for me. But I already checked the manual before because I had the issue, and then I do AI, and then they do point to the same place. But what we really want is that the AI does the edge cases, the billing disputes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And because we have the data in a modern BSS billing system now, that's almost all the data you need to solve those difficult questions. So we gave agentic AI domain knowledge about everything and gave them access to all the data they need in a really powerful way. And now we see that even those really difficult questions about billing disputes, edge cases, get solved. And we tried, we collected a sample of around 50 cases that were escalated to us because the customer service didn't manage to get a solution. And the agentic AI is able already now to solve 70% of those cases. And it's training based on the data as well, so it's getting better and better.
Yeah, that sounds really great. And so what has been your highlights during this week so far? Has there been anything memorable happened, or your biggest success of this week so far?
Well, yeah, our goal was indeed to be, because we're introducing ourselves for the first time, to be really visible. And what I really like now is that when people are coming across our booth, at least 20 times per day, people stop and say, "Whoa, this is cool." And that's really cool. And then most of the time, those are not our clients, but then they say, "Oh, what are you doing?" And then they say, "Oh, wait, have you talked to that one? Oh, wait, I will bring him here." And we're getting so many meetings. So
oh, that's fantastic. I really like that. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to perhaps talk again next year about your adventures after this.
Let's do that.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, applause.